Hey guys, welcome to the channel. On the day I'm supposed to be posting this, my classes should be starting. To prepare for possible face-to-face classes in my schedule, I bought a bunch of things from Shopee, Art Bar, and National Bookstore. A little disclaimer is that it also took me a good 6 months to save up for all of these, so don't expect to get this much stuff in one go. So let's get into it. First section is technology. My phone was on life support for the longest time. It wouldn't work if it wasn't plugged in, and when I got a hand-me-down phone from my parents, I needed more things. So the first thing I got was a new phone case. Originally, it had a pink one from my mom, but I wanted something that suited me a little bit more, and since the phone was red, I really like this smoky looking back, which hides the brightness of the red and makes it look a little bit more normal, I guess. A new phone is great and all, but I did lose my headphone jack, so I got this adapter that allows me to plug in a headphone jack and charger at the same time. The only downside is that it only works for audio output and not input, so I did have to change my microphone. I've been using the same phone cable for 3 years now, so I thought I'd get some replacements to keep and use. The first one is this really long lightning cable. It's 2 meters long, and I thought it would be good at charging my phone from my bed or when I just need longer reach. The one that I'm actually planning to use more often is this purple cable. I love the color and how compact it is. It has 3 ends, USB-C, micro USB, and lightning, so it makes it handy to carry around when I have my phone, power bank, and my camera on me. It's also decently long and it retracts into the main body so it won't tangle or take up too much space in my bag when I'm traveling. Last tech thing is also the most expensive. I got this really big power bank that can store 20,000 milliampere hours, which I have no idea what is, but it's double the power bank that I currently use. I was also drawn to this blue color because it seemed more interesting than just the plain black and white versions. And my family also has a black one, so I might as well get something that sets it apart. As some of you know, I do crafts on this channel, so I got a refill on some supplies and some new ones. These are pretty standard, so I'll go over them pretty quickly. Got 2 packs of the thin glue sticks for future crafts, double-sided tape, and this glue tape for sticking things together without warping paper, and the glue tape is also convenient to bring along. Couldn't find a normal-sized popsicle stick, but these big ones should suffice for now. It's a cheap and easy material to add structure to pieces and make them stand up. I really like the quality difference between my old metallic paints and new metallic paints. Even if all of them take a few layers to become opaque, the shine in Sakura paints are just so nice. I originally went to buy another antique gold one to store for later, but this silver one is also really good. I also wanted it to replace the silver that I've been using since it does take a long while for it to become opaque. I got this Perfect Pearls pigment in confetti white. It's basically a metallic pigment that you can mix into things. I have another one in gold in my collection that I used to use to seal gold poster paint that I used to use in my cosplays. I plan to mix this pigment into some glue for a top coat or mix it into paints to make custom metallics. On my way out of Art Bar, I also saw these very small brushes that were pretty cheap for the quality. I really need detail brushes for my craft sometimes, like my earrings, because the details can be so small, so these are going to be so helpful since I don't have any other brushes smaller than these. And I think these might actually stay together better than my other ones. Going back to school, I wanted a new pencil case for face-to-face classes to adapt to the changes in my organizing during online classes. UP tables are pretty small, so I thought to get something that can stand up vertically to save space. I love this color and how easy the zipper is to open. It stands up and has this little zippered pocket for small items. It's gonna be a lot more organized than my last pencil case for sure. It's pretty tall, so it can also fit longer markers and longer highlighters. The only paper I got were these 2 small sticky notes. I got these pink ones pre-pandemic and I really love using them, but I haven't been able to go back to that store since, and all the ones online are neon. Even if I'm not the greatest fan of the colors, I thought this'll get these yellow and white ones just in case and for the size. I kept this section last because it was the biggest one and the one I'm most excited for. I did buy a lot of highlighters because I was running out of the lighter colors and I wanted more options for face-to-face classes. I have color grading on these videos, so I'll add photos of my swatches in normal lighting on white and cream paper. The first thing are these Tombow mono erasers. I was looking for a small eraser to bring along to class and I found these ones for pretty cheap. I got black and white because I have no idea if there's a difference between the 2 colors. Now we go to the highlighter/marker section. I'm gonna go from least to most expensive. The first set are the salt and sugar highlighters. These sets of 6 are cheaper than the individual highlighters later on. I got these square ones because I thought they'd be able to store easier, but there are also double-ended round ones which are a bit more expensive. They come in the Morandi color palette, which I have no idea what it means exactly, but from what I've seen, it's just muted colors and neutrals which you can see on this set. The next highlighters were some of the new shades of the pastels, stabilos, I have no idea how to say that. There weren't a lot in store that I already didn't have because I have the original 6 colors, but I did get these 2 for the difference in shades, dusty gray and pale orange. These might look similar to stuff I already have, but I'll do some comparisons after to show you all the shades. Next is the first Faber-Castell highlighter that I bought for myself. This really caught my attention because it had this pearl packaging and the color is so nice. It's this peachy brown that I haven't seen before. My priority usually is finding colors that my current collection doesn't have. So this is going to be great as I'm leaning towards neutrals and muted tones at the moment. I went to the National to actually look for the new Mildliner colors, but I couldn't find them. While I was there though, I did get a backup of mild blue since I tend to use it a lot since it's the lightest blue I own. When I went to 3 shops and couldn't find the new colors of Mildliners, I went on Shopee and found the shop that sold them for 10 pesos cheaper than the normal Mildliner. There's 2 new sets of 5, the Gentle set and the Natural set. I like the Natural set more honestly, but I really like the lighter tones of Mild Honey Orange and Mild Sherbet Yellow for the Gentle set compared to the Bright set. My favorites from the Naturals are Mild Beige and Mild Olive for how unique the colors are. Now that the individual swatching is done, we move on to the comparison section, which is going to be comparing the stuff I bought and the stuff I already own. So let's jump into live footage of me trying these colors out.
So hello, this is going to be the comparison section of the video. So I'm just going to go talk about basically comparing the stuff that I have before to the things that I got now. So the first thing is just I have my peach. So I'm gonna be comparing the peaches first because I got a bunch of peaches. So this is the original Stabilo peach highlighter. So this is what it looks like. There you go. That is the normal Stabilo peach, and then I have a Faber-Castell text liner that I got in peach, or supposedly a similar color. But the problem that I found with it is that, there you go, it's basically nothing. So you can see it, you have to take a few layers for it to actually cover the page. And then the other one that I got is the other text liner, which is this Faber-Castell Pearl Rose. And then that's why I was saying earlier that the text liner line wasn't really great for me. This is because of the previous one, and I am horrible at swatching when I can't look. But basically that's the color of the Pearl Rose. You can see it's more on the brown side. It's a very peachy orange. Then the square highlighters that I got, this is supposedly the peach shade. So you can see it's a lighter shade than the, so I'm not sure if you can see closer. There you go. So this is really bad just because I'm horrible at highlighting when I can't see and from this angle. But this is the Stabilo, this is the text liner, this is the other text liner, the Pearl Rose, and then this is the Morandi, the square ones, and then this is Mild Cream. So you can see it's a little bit more seen and actually more yellow than the Morandi one, and this is a lighter orange than this one, and then this you can barely see it on camera, but at least this you can see it a little bit even if it is very light. So that's the comparisons mainly of the peaches and just the peachy colors. So the next comparison I have is between the kind of the pale orange Stabilo and mild gold, because I realized they look kind of similar if you look at them. So let's compare them. So that is pale orange. So it's this goldenrod-y color. There you go. And then we have mild gold. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but basically pale orange is not way lighter, but it's a lighter color than mild gold, and that's why I kind of got them separately. So you can see, like, if I move it around, well, in real life I can see it, but I'm not sure if it does reflect on camera. So there is more pigment in the mild gold, but that doesn't make it necessarily bad. But I think getting pale orange is actually a pretty decent dupe for a mild gold if you don't have it. So there you go. But for me, who wants to make sure that I have a lot of different shades of colors, that's really important to me. Okay, now that I finished like the peaches and the yellow / goldenrod colors, I want to move on to the pinks. So I have a lot of pinks, and I got a lot of pinks from this new like set of highlighters that I got. So I'm gonna compare the old ones first. I'm gonna swatch the old ones, and then I'm gonna move on to the new one. So the first one is the pink from the original Stabilo like pastel set. That's what it looks like. So it's very bright pink. And then moving on to mild liners. So this is, I think this is mild pink. Yeah, this is just normal mild pink. But the reason why it's custom, well, not custom, but it's designed is because it came from a limited edition set. So this is mild pink. It is very like neon and highlightery. It's not as bright as usual like pink highlighters. This is mild coral pink. You can see all of these. So there, that's a pretty bright coral pink. This is mild fuchsia. So this is on the cooler tone side of pinks. There you go. Just like, don't mind if I actually like, you know, go through all of these like unevenly. I have a hard time seeing right now. So, okay. And then these are from the new mild liner releases. This is mild dusty pink. So mild dusty pink is actually a Japan exclusive color. There you go. So it's a Japan exclusive color because or dusty pink or dust pink. I'm not really sure. And this is mild baby pink. So you see their MVP. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, mild dusty pink is actually a Japan exclusive because in the US they replaced that color with mild copper. I also want that color actually. But okay, so if you look at the current ones, you can see how much more muted and light mild baby pink is compared to normal mild pink, and how like mild dusty pink looks a little bit closer to the Stabilo pink, but it's actually less bright than that, which makes a little bit more sense for the naturals palette that mild liner was going for. And then now we go into the like Morandi colors basically. So this is the first pink in the Morandi set. So there's no name, so I can't really name them for you guys. So this is the first one, which is very, very light. So you can see it there. So it's, I think, the lightest pink that I own right now. And then this is the other one. So the lighter pink of the pink set. I'm referring to them by the color of their set. So this is the lighter pink of the pink set. So as you can see, that they have like very light tones but different shades of pink. So if I can tilt it, I think you can see it a little bit more if I turn it against the light. There you go. And then now we move on to the blue set. So this is the darker pink of the blue set. So you can see it's a very, very different type of pink. It's in the middle ground of like maybe mild coral and mild dusty pink. So like the middle point of those shades is this, and then this is the lighter shade of the blue set. So you can see it's kind of like skewing more towards like a light brown. So it's a more like brownish tone than the mild dusty pink. So you can kind of see the kind of gradients happening. So one of the brighter muted pinks is the Stabilo, moving on to mild dusty pink, and then the light color or the light pink of the blue set of the Morandi highlighters. Now we can move on to the orange tones. So we have the little paper here. We have mainly mild liner colors here because I didn't really get any other orange tones in the Morandi sets. So I kept the goldenrod colors a bit separate to the orange tones. So there, that is mild orange, another very highlightery shade. And then the other like non-highlightery shade of orange from mild liner before is mild apricot. There you go. So that's what it looks like. So you either have neon or that very bright orange. But now we have have mild honey orange. So there you go. So it comes from the Gentle set, and it looks like that. If I can swatch it properly. There you go. So you can see it is a very like nice lighter shade of this orange versus like the mild apricot that you can see up here in the middle. So there you go. It's the only like bright oranges I have in my collection, so we can move along to yellows. So next are the yellows. The first one is the original like pastel yellow. So of course I have this because I use it to take notes on readings. So that's what it is. It is a pretty bright yellow if you look at it on camera, but it's not as bright as this. So this is mild yellow. You can see highlighter yellow basically. Then the other like non-highlighter yellow from mild liner, which is mild lemon yellow, but it also is a pretty bright yellow. So if you compare it to basically the Stabilo, so I think this is a little bit more dark, so this is a little bit more bright than the mild lemon yellow. And then now we go on to our new color, which is mild sherbet yellow. So as you can see, it is another middle ground shade between the two existing shades of mild liner. So it is not as bright as the highlighter yellow of just normal mild yellow, but it is not as vibrant as the mild lemon yellow. It's kind of its own slightly neon, slightly not type of color. And yeah, I don't really collect a lot of yellows, so that's all the yellows. Now we can move on to the greens. I think I do have a lot of greens. Now we can go on to the green. Of course, we first start with the Stabilo color. So this is, I think the name is Hint of Mint from Stabilo. Of course, I still have the original normal pastel set. That is the mint color that they have. Now we go on to my normal mild liner colors. So first is just mild green. So it's a more like vibrant, warmer green than the Hint of Mint. This is mild citrus green. This is I think the warmest tone green I have. So there you go. It's a very like bright lime green. We have mild blue green, another one from the limited edition set that I got. There you go. It's a very blue green color, so it's way more blue than the Hint of Mint one. And then this is mild summer green, one of my favorite mild liner colors. So there you go. You can see very, very blue green. Like if you think of like blue green Crayola crayon, that's the blue green you're thinking about. Okay, so the new one is mild olive. I think it's just mild olive and not mild olive green. So you can just go over here. You can see it's a completely different color of green versus the other mild liners. And then now we go to the greens of each of the different sets of like square highlighters. So the first one is from the pink set. So this is the green that they have in the pink set, if I can open it. So there, you can see it is a lighter shade. It's like a very, very light shade that is kind of comparable to a middle ground between Hint of Mint and mild blue green. And then the green from the blue set is this. So you can see it's like a, I don't know, I always thought of it as like a seaweed type of green. It's like a very stormy green, or like a smoky green. You know how like in my liners they have smoky blue? I think this is very close to what I think a smoky green would look like. And that's mainly like the green highlighters that I currently have from the old stuff that I have and the new arrivals. We can move on to blues next. Next set of highlighters are my blue highlighters. So we have this. So of course Stabilo blue. I think this is the turquoise one. So you can see, there you go. It is a brighter shade, I guess, of mild blue green. You can just see them like close together. It is darker. Okay, and the next is mild blue. This isn't the replacement that I got. This is the one that I'm currently using. So that is mild blue. We have mild cyan. So it is the brighter blue of the sets of mild liners. Then we have mild dark blue. So yes, I also have a lot of blues. Mild smoke blue. So I was mentioning smoke blue a while ago in the green section, but this is mild smoke blue. So you can see what I mean by, like, if you look at it, what I mean by like smoke green. So you can see like the tones of the two colors. You can kind of see them in each other at this point. And then the new shade. So first one is mild soda blue. I think this is called soda blue. So mild soda blue kind of looks like the cloud blue of Stabilo. I don't have one, but that's what I've seen from the photos. So you can see it's like a lighter, mild dark blue mixed with it's kind of like the similar lightness of like this shade at like this level of lightness. I don't know the color technical terms to be able to describe that properly. But we move on to the other sets. So this is the pink set blue from the Morandi Square highlighters. So you can see it looks very, very similar to mild soda blue. I think for me, I find that the Morandi highlighter is a little darker actually than the mild soda blue. So the mild soda blue has a little bit more gray tones, and then this looks a little bit more blue. And then the blue from the blue set. So this is what it looks like. It kind of has like this purplish barrel, so I get kind of confused by it. There you go. So you can see it's also a close dupe actually for a mild liner. So just comparing it to mild dark blue, I find that this is a little bit lighter than mild dark blue. It has a little bit more like powder blue vibes, and this is leaning more towards like the purple vibes. I think that's how I usually compare colors, just what color they're a little bit more close to. And that's basically all the blues. Got a new piece of paper. We're moving on to the purples. So purple is a color I like using a lot. I just don't get chances to use a lot of it, or at least in the color code that I have. So this is the original purple Stabilo highlighter. There. And then this is mild magenta. So it's very similar to like the mild fuchsia I showed you a while ago, but it is, I feel like, in leaning more towards the purple side than the pink side. This is the color that I also have a backup of, which is mild violet. Okay, so if you look close enough, you can see that like the Stabilo purple is a more pinky purple than the mild violet, which has a more blue vibe to it. And then this is the new one, which is mild lilac. So there you go. If you really look at it, it is another like middle tone shade. So it looks like the middle tone shade of these two colors but lighter. So it has like a more pink vibe than the original mild violet has. So that's the vibe of mild lilac, but it's also not as like bright as mild magenta. It's not mild fuchsia, mild magenta. So it has like a really good like mix with the rest of my purples. And now we get to the neutral colors, which I'm just gonna go prep real quick. Now goes to a color of highlighter that I've always wanted, but it's very rare to find them. We're going on to the browns. So my baseline for this is the only brown highlighter I have, which is mild brown. So that is mild brown. It's pretty dark if I do say so myself. And then we can move on to the pearl rose. I also got it because it has that like light brown vibe that I want. I suck at like highlighting with a text liner, but that's what it looks like. So if we look at it closely, yeah, the pearl rose really has that like pinky brown vibe. And then we go to mild beige. which is like the color I was looking most forward to in the new mild liner release. There you go. So you can see it's more of like a warm khaki color. So it's a bit more coffee-like in my opinion. So it's like more of a warm brown, like a yellowy brown, rather than these, which is like a cool brown, like a chocolate brown, and then this is like a pink brown, kind of skin tone-ish like feeling to me. And then we have the Mirandi. This is from the pink set. So this is the brown that they have. And of course, Mirandi brings it to you very, very lightly. So if you want like a light brown, then you can, and it's pretty cheap, so you can go for Mirandi. If you want for a warmer brown, like a khaki brown, you could go for the new mild liner beige. And then this is rose, yeah, Pro Rose, and then this is just normal mild brown. The last set of colors are the grays. So we are gonna start off with the grays that I already have. First off is mild gray, of course, mild liner. So it's another one of those with the designed barrels. Next would be mild dark gray. So you can see it's like pretty cool, not pretty close to black, but it is a dark gray. Then we go to the new one. So this is the first one, which is the Stabilo Dusty Gray. So if you look at it, it's very different from the first two grays from mild liner because of its tone. And you can see that mild gray is a pretty warm tone gray. You don't really realize it until you see another gray beside it, but this is a very cool tone gray. You can actually kind of see the difference how the mild gray is a bit more yellow, and then the like dusty gray from Stabilo is more blue. Speaking of more blue grays, we have mild cool gray, which is part of the new release from mild liner. So as you can see, there is a kind of similar color from the dusty gray and the mild cool gray, but at least from my eye, you could see that mild cool gray is actually a bit darker than dusty gray. So I think that's like one of the reasons why I find them kind of different and I want to get both of them. Not just because I'm like a mild liner collector, but just because the shades can be used in like slightly different ways depending on how you want to use them. So that is like basically all the comparisons of the highlighters that I wanted to show to you guys today. Oh, actually, no. So I did forget to show you this one, which is the gray from the blue set of square highlighters. The thing is, it doesn't look gray because to me, at least in real life, it looks purple, so I didn't bother to test it. But if you look at it, it is another completely different gray. So you can see it's another like pink shade gray. I'm not really sure how to describe it, but I find the color like this color of gray like really interesting because I've never seen a brand do like this light of a color before. I know this can be a problem for some people who want their highlights to be seen, but for me, who uses their highlighters as not just highlighters but also like ways to color things, this is going to be really great and really versatile for like the stuff that I want to do with my bullet journal. And that's all of the highlighters that I have. So that's all of the pinks and the oranges and yellows and the grays.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video somewhat, seeing me nerd out over stationery. What have been your favorites from this haul? Any ones you're actually planning to buy? Leave them in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this from me, then hit the subscribe button and the bell to know when a new video is out. I try to upload every week, Monday night at 8. I guess that's all for this video. Bye guys!